Welcome to World Numismatic Finds, where we uncover hidden treasures from the past that could be sitting right in your change jar. Today, we're diving into 5 fascinating French 20 centimes coins. Each coin tells a unique story, from rusty and worn conditions to those still holding traces of their golden shine. These seemingly ordinary pieces of brass might not look like much, but to collectors and coin enthusiasts across France, they could hold far more value than you'd expect. So stay tuned. You might be surprised by how much these humble 20 centimes coins could be worth today. Let's begin with the 20 centimes coin from 1984, a small yet historically rich piece that captures the enduring charm of France's coinage before the introduction of the euro. This particular coin, even in its rusty condition, holds a fascinating story that connects modern France to its vibrant past. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting your journey in numismatics, this coin is a remarkable example of how even the most common-looking coins can carry surprising value and meaning. The 1984 French 20 centimes coin belongs to a series that was first introduced in the mid-20th century, during a time when France was modernizing its currency and economy. These coins were minted under the French Fifth Republic and feature designs that reflect the nation's ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Though millions were produced, not every coin has survived in pristine condition, and over time, many have developed signs of age like fading, tarnishing, or rust. The one we're examining today carries a touch of rust, which adds to its aged character and reminds us of the decades it has seen, from the 1980s economic transformations to the pre-euro years that defined an era in French monetary history. Turning our attention to the design, the obverse or head side of the coin features the profile of Marianne, the national emblem of France, wearing a Phrygian cap, a symbol of liberty and the Republic itself. She represents freedom, enlightenment, and the strength of the French people. The artistry of her image is a classic representation of French engraving skill, elegant yet purposeful, giving the coin an instantly recognizable identity. On the reverse or tail side, you'll find the denomination 20 centimes, surrounded by the iconic French motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, Liberty, Equality, Brotherhood, and the year of mintage, 1984. The oak and olive branches that frame the lettering add further depth, symbolizing strength and peace. Every detail on this coin was carefully chosen to embody the national spirit and the pride of the French Republic. When it comes to cultural and historical value, the 1984 20 centimes coin is a window into France's late 20th century identity. These coins circulated during a time of major social and political evolution, reflecting both the pride of French craftsmanship and the everyday life of millions of citizens. Though the euro would later replace it, the franc and its subdivisions like the centime still hold sentimental value among the French people and collectors worldwide. This particular coin represents the last few decades before France transitioned into the European monetary system, making it a nostalgic piece for those who remember using francs in their daily lives. For collectors, owning such a coin is like holding a fragment of history, one that still resonates with national pride and artistry. The 20 centimes coin from 1984 weighs approximately 4 grams and is made of an aluminium-bronze alloy, giving it a warm golden hue when new. Over the years, exposure to air and moisture often results in oxidation, creating the rusty or tarnished appearance that we see in some examples today. While a rusty surface may lower its technical grade, many collectors find charm in its aged appearance, appreciating the sense of time and authenticity it brings. Each mark, each faded line, tells a story of circulation and survival, giving the coin character far beyond its face value. As for its rarity and market demand, while the 1984 issue is not considered extremely rare, its condition and presentation can still influence value significantly. In rusty or worn condition, this coin typically sells in the range of $5,000 to $15,000 on the collector's market. However, coins with less corrosion or those that have retained their original shine can reach up to $3,000 or more, particularly when sold as part of a complete set of French centimes. What keeps this coin interesting to collectors is not just its price, but its role in the story of French currency. Because these coins were among the last of their type before the euro era, they are gaining attention as nostalgic collectibles, and as time passes, even lower-grade examples may become more sought after for their historical appeal. For collectors who are passionate about European coinage, the 1984 French 20 centimes is a smart addition to any growing collection. It represents a nation's values, artistry, and everyday heritage in one small piece of metal. Those who collect world coins know that beauty and worth aren't always tied to shine and perfection. Sometimes it's the rustic, time-worn coins that tell the most compelling stories. If you come across one of these coins, even in rusty or circulated condition, it's worth holding on to. Its connection to a pre-Euro France, combined with the elegant imagery of Marianne and the national motto, gives it lasting collector appeal. When it comes to caring for such a coin, it's best to handle it gently and avoid harsh cleaning methods that could damage its surface. Collectors should store it in a dry, protective holder to prevent further oxidation. Remember, natural aging and light rust can actually enhance a coin's authenticity, especially for those who appreciate the history it represents. In conclusion, the 1984 French 20 centimes coin stands as a beautiful reminder of France's cultural pride and economic journey. Though it may not fetch hundreds of dollars, its emotional and historical worth far exceeds its modest market value. Even in rusty condition, it captures the enduring artistry and symbolism of France's numismatic heritage. So next time you stumble upon a small French coin from the 1980s, take a closer look. You might just be holding a golden piece of history in your hand, one that continues to attract collectors with its quiet charm and timeless story. At number 2, the 1967 French 20 centimes coin. This small yet remarkable piece of French numismatic history carries with it more than just a monetary value. It holds a reflection of an era filled with national pride, artistry, and cultural transformation. Even though the coin in question may now appear in a faded condition, it still speaks volumes about its journey through the hands of countless people, witnessing decades of French history unfold. For collectors around the world, such coins are not merely pieces of metal. They are time travelers from a bygone era, rich with story and sentiment. The 20 centimes coin of 1967 was part of the French franc system, a currency that had served France for over a century before the introduction of the euro. This coin was minted during the presidency of Charles de Gaulle, a period that defined France's modern identity in politics and global influence. Its design was created by the famous engraver and sculptor Henri Lagrefoule, who was known for his ability to capture grace and national symbolism in his art. The coin was composed primarily of an aluminum-bronze alloy, which gave it a light golden color when freshly minted. Over time, with use and exposure, that golden luster tends to fade, leaving behind the soft, aged tone that so many collectors find visually appealing, a sign of authenticity and the passage of history. On the obverse side, or what collectors call the head of the coin, you'll find the elegant profile of Marianne, the national emblem of the French Republic. Marianne represents liberty, equality, and fraternity, the enduring values of France. She is depicted wearing a Phrygian cap, a traditional symbol of freedom dating back to the French Revolution. Even in a faded condition, the delicate lines of her face and the subtle flow of her hair still express an artistic refinement that sets French coinage apart. On the reverse side, known as the tail, is the denomination 20 centimes, surrounded by the famous national motto Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, along with a graceful olive branch, representing peace and prosperity. The year 1967 appears prominently at the bottom, marking its place in France's long monetary history. The cultural and historical significance of this coin extends far beyond its face value. It symbolizes a stable period in France's economic and political landscape during the post-war years. France in the 1960s was modernizing rapidly, industries were expanding, and the French franc was a symbol of renewed national confidence. To own a 1967 20 centimes coin today is to hold a tangible piece of that spirit of progress. It embodies not just the aesthetics of French design, but also the pride of a nation rebuilding its strength and identity. This coin typically weighs around 4 grams, with a diameter of about 23 millimeters, making it both lightweight and compact, easy to carry but substantial enough to feel significant in the palm. Though millions were minted, finding one that retains sharp details, strong color, and minimal wear can be a challenge today. The faded condition, as in this case, does slightly lower its collectible value, but it doesn't erase its appeal. In fact, for many collectors, the patina and software add personality and authenticity to the coin, showing that it has truly lived through decades of circulation and human touch. In terms of market demand, coins like the 1967 French 20 centimes are experiencing renewed interest among collectors, especially those focusing on pre-Euro European coinage. While a faded example may not fetch high prices like some rare mint errors or proof strikes, it still has steady value due to its age, design, and historical charm. In today's numismatic market, a 1967 French 20 centimes coin in faded but collectible condition might range from around $4,000 to $6,000 in the United States, depending on its exact state of preservation. Coins with stronger details and minimal wear can sometimes reach higher, especially when part of a complete series from the 1960s. Collectors who appreciate French coins often seek this 1967 issue because it marks one of the final decades before France transitioned into the modern era of currency leading up to the euro. Its simplicity, artistry, and association with France's rich culture make it an appealing piece for both beginner and experienced collectors. Many enthusiasts recommend holding on to such coins, as interest in European vintage coinage has been steadily growing, particularly among collectors who enjoy affordable, historical, and visually appealing pieces. For those looking to preserve or collect these coins, it's important to store them properly. Avoid polishing or cleaning, as doing so can reduce the natural value and erase the historical patina. Keeping the coin in a dry holder or capsule ensures that its aged charm remains intact. Whether you find this coin at a flea market, inherited it from an older collection, or discovered it among old change, it deserves appreciation for what it represents, the resilience and artistry of France in the 20th century. In conclusion, the 1967 French 20 centimes coin, even in a faded condition, is far more than a small piece of metal. It is a storyteller, a miniature work of art, and a modest yet powerful reminder of France's proud history and enduring cultural legacy. Its value may not rest entirely in dollars, but in the deeper appreciation it inspires among those who hold it. Every collector who treasures such a coin understands that its true worth lies in its history, its beauty, and the way it connects us to the past, a golden thread linking generations through the timeless language of coinage. At number 3, the 20 centimes coin from 1962. This little piece of metal may look simple at first glance, especially in a circulated condition, but it carries with it decades of French history, artistry, and cultural pride. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or just starting your coin collecting journey, this French 20 centimes coin is a remarkable example of how even the most common coins can tell stories of a nation's identity and evolution through time. The story of the 1962 French 20 centimes coin begins during an important era in France's modern history. This coin was issued under the Fifth Republic, a time when the country was rebuilding its economy and reasserting its presence on the global stage after the challenges of World War II and post-war recovery. The coin itself was part of the decimalized French franc system, which was the backbone of French currency until the euro replaced it in 2002. Designed to be practical for everyday transactions, this 20 centimes coin circulated widely throughout France in the 1960s, passing through countless hands and capturing the spirit of the French people during a time of modernization and progress. When you look closely at the head side, or obverse, of the 1962 20 centimes, you'll notice the elegant portrait of Marianne, the national symbol of the French Republic. Marianne represents liberty, equality, and fraternity, the guiding principles of the French nation. Her calm and proud expression, adorned with a Phrygian cap, beautifully embodies the ideals of freedom and civic duty. The design was crafted by the talented engraver Henri Lagreffoul, whose work on this coin became one of the most recognizable faces of mid-20th century French currency. On the reverse side, or tail, you'll see the words Liberté Galet Fraternité, the national motto, gracefully encircling the coin's denomination of 20 centimes and the year 1962. The surrounding olive and wheat motifs symbolize peace and prosperity, creating a perfect harmony between design and meaning. From a cultural and historical standpoint, this coin represents much more than just a small denomination. It serves as a snapshot of French values and craftsmanship from an era of national renewal. France in the 1960s was undergoing significant social and technological changes, and coins like this one circulated through the hands of everyday citizens, workers, students, families, all sharing in a time of optimism and growth. Owning such a coin today is like holding a tiny time capsule that connects you directly to that vibrant period in French history. The 20 centimes coin of 1962 was made from an alloy called aluminum bronze, which gives it its distinctive golden tone. It weighs around 4 grams and has a diameter of about 23.5 millimeters, making it lightweight yet sturdy enough to withstand years of circulation. These coins were minted in large quantities by the Monnaie de Paris, ensuring they were widely available across France. However, coins that have survived decades in good condition have become more desirable among collectors today, especially when they still display sharp details despite their age. While millions of these coins were produced, the rarity of any individual piece depends heavily on its preservation. The one in circulating condition, like the example we're discussing today, naturally shows signs of wear, faint inscriptions, smooth edges, and a softer overall appearance. Yet even with this wear, it remains a sought-after collectible because it reflects the authentic passage of time. Coins that have lived through real transactions often appeal to collectors who value historical authenticity over pristine perfection. The charm of a circulated 1962 coin lies in its journey. It might have been used to buy a baguette at a Parisian market or a ticket on the metro decades ago. In today's collector market, the 1962 French 20 centimes coin in circulating condition generally holds a value between $500 and $2,000, depending on the level of wear, visual appeal, and overall preservation. Coins in better grades, especially uncirculated or proof examples, can command higher prices, sometimes reaching up to $4,000 or more for pristine pieces. While this may not seem like a fortune, the true value of this coin lies in its historical importance and the steady interest it generates among French and international coin collectors alike. Over time, as older French franc coins become harder to find in quality condition, their desirability and collectible worth are expected to rise gradually. For collectors, owning a 1962 20 centimes coin can be both rewarding and educational. It's a coin that teaches patience and appreciation for detail. When collecting French coins from the mid-20th century, it's always best to handle them carefully and store them properly in coin holders to prevent further oxidation or damage. Cleaning is never recommended, as it can diminish both the coin's natural luster and its collector value. Instead, collectors should focus on preserving the original patina that tells the story of its age. In conclusion, the 1962 French 20 centimes coin remains a delightful piece of numismatic history. Though common in its time, it stands today as a reminder of France's artistic elegance, democratic spirit, and rich heritage. Its design, cultural symbolism, and enduring charm make it a must-have for anyone interested in European coinage. Even in circulated condition, this coin speaks volumes about its journey through decades of French life, connecting us to a proud and storied past. Whether you're collecting for value, history, or pure passion, the French 20 centimes of 1962 is a timeless treasure that will always hold a special place in the heart of coin enthusiasts around the world. At number 4, the 1976 French 20 centimes coin, though now replaced by the euro, continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide for its intricate design, cultural symbolism, and nostalgic value. During the mid-1970s, France's currency was still based on the franc system, which had been in use since the late 18th century. The 20 centimes denomination served as a practical, low-value coin that circulated widely across the country. Whether used in a bakery to buy a baguette or handed over for a tram ride, this coin was part of everyday French life. The designer, Henri Lagreffoul, created a piece that wasn't just functional, it was beautiful. His design embodied the ideal of liberté, égalité, fraternité, the timeless motto of the French Republic that remains engraved in the nation's consciousness. Each element of the coin's design reflects the country's enduring commitment to freedom and unity. When you examine the obverse side, you'll notice Marianne, the national symbol of France, gracefully portrayed wearing a Phrygian cap. This iconic figure represents liberty and enlightenment, standing as a reminder of the country's revolutionary roots. Her detailed features, calm expression, and flowing hair convey both strength and serenity. Turning the coin over to the reverse side, the beauty continues with the denomination 20 centimes, the year 1976, and the phrase Liberté Galet Fraternit surrounding an olive branch. That branch is no random decoration. It's a powerful symbol of peace and unity, suggesting the balance between strength and harmony that France has always strived for. Even when the coin is dirty or worn, the engraving remains recognizable, a testament to the craftsmanship that went into its creation. The coin is composed of an aluminum-bronze alloy, a combination that gave it a warm golden color and made it lightweight but durable. It weighs around 4 grams, and its diameter is about 23.5 millimeters, perfectly sized for frequent use. Over the years, many of these coins have accumulated scratches, stains, and dirt from circulation, yet each mark tells a story of the hands it passed through and the lives it touched. In numismatics, such character can actually add depth to a coin's appeal. While collectors often treasure shiny mint-state coins, there's a growing appreciation for naturally aged pieces that have seen real use, since they hold a genuine connection to history. Despite being common in the 1970s, coins like the 1976 20 centimes are becoming harder to find in everyday circulation, especially in good condition. With the introduction of the euro in 2002, all French franc coins were withdrawn from use, and many were melted down or lost over time. That makes surviving examples a little more special, especially for collectors who enjoy preserving pieces from the pre-euro era. A coin in dirty or circulated condition may not carry a high market price, but its collectible value lies in its history and charm. Typically, a 1976 20 centimes coin in dirty or heavily circulated condition might fetch between $1,000 and $3,000, while cleaner or uncirculated examples could reach $5 to $10 depending on the buyer's interest and the coin's eye appeal. There's an undeniable nostalgia tied to coins like this one. It evokes images of France in the 1970s, a country full of life, creativity, and change. Whether it was jingling in the pockets of students at a Paris cafe, or used by travelers exploring Provence's markets, each coin has its own untold story. That's what makes it special for collectors today. You're not just collecting metal, you're collecting moments, traditions, and pieces of culture frozen in time. The collector demand for French coins, especially those minted before the euro, has been steadily growing internationally. American and European numismatists alike appreciate these coins for their accessibility and artistry. The 20 centimes coin of 1976 stands out as an excellent example of mid-century French design, one that still embodies the ideals of the Republic. Even in dirty or aged condition, collectors see its beauty. Some even prefer the aged look, as it gives the coin a rustic, authentic charm that polished specimens can't replicate. If you own one of these coins, there are a few things to keep in mind to preserve its value. Cleaning should always be done with care. Avoid using chemical cleaners or abrasives, as these can damage the metal and erase fine details. Instead, if the coin is excessively dirty, a gentle rinse in warm distilled water or a soft brush can remove surface grime without harming its patina. Once clean and dry, it's best to store it in a coin holder, capsule, or protective sleeve to prevent further wear. Over time, collectors have come to realize that the French 20 centimes series represents more than small change. It's a legacy of art and national identity. Each year's design and minting tell part of a larger story, and the 1976 issue is an integral chapter in that narrative. With its blend of artistic finesse and historical depth, it continues to appeal to anyone with an appreciation for classic European coins. In conclusion, the 1976 French 20 centimes coin in dirty condition is not just a piece of metal. It's a reminder of France's spirit, creativity, and resilience. It carries cultural, historical, and emotional value that far outweighs its modest monetary worth. Holding this coin is like holding a tiny fragment of France's golden past, a piece that continues to inspire admiration among collectors across the world. So next time you come across one, don't dismiss it for its dirt or wear. Treasure it for the story it tells, the era it represents, and the enduring symbol of liberty and equality that it continues to shine with, even after all these years. At number 5, the French 20 centimes coin from the year 1966, now showing a naturally worn condition that tells a story of time, circulation, and cultural significance. Though it may appear aged and slightly worn, this coin remains an admired collectible for enthusiasts and historians alike, a small yet captivating symbol of France's mid-20th century monetary legacy. The 1966 French 20 centimes coin was issued during a time of steady modernization in post-war France, when the nation was rebuilding its economy and identity. Crafted under the Fifth French Republic, this coin reflects not only the economic stability of the period, but also the artistic pride France holds in its coinage. The 20 centimes denomination served as one of the smaller everyday coins in circulation, yet its beautiful design made it stand out in pockets and purses across the nation. The coin's worn condition today speaks to its service in daily trade. It likely passed through thousands of hands, witnessing countless transactions that powered the local economy of France during the late 1960s and beyond. On one side of the coin, often called the head, we see the elegant profile of Marianne, the national emblem of the French Republic, symbolizing liberty and reason. She wears a Phrygian cap, representing freedom and the spirit of revolution that has long defined French history. Even in a worn state, her image retains an aura of grace and power, a reminder of France's enduring ideals. Flipping the coin to the other side, the tail features the denomination 20 centimes, surrounded by the inspiring words liberté, égalité, fraternité, liberty, equality, brotherhood. This motto captures the essence of French national pride, and around it is a wreath of wheat, oak, and olive branches, representing agriculture, strength, and peace. Although wear has softened its edges, this side still conveys the symbolic richness and timeless artistry that make French coins so collectible. In terms of physical attributes, the 20 centimes coin of 1966 was struck in aluminum bronze, a metal alloy chosen for its durability and golden hue. It weighs approximately 3.5 grams and measures 23 millimeters in diameter, making it light yet substantial in the hand. Its golden tone, even when dulled by years of circulation, still gives off a nostalgic glow that collectors appreciate. The worn condition does not diminish its value entirely. Instead, it often adds to its character, making each piece unique in its markings and patina, showing the honest journey of time. This coin holds both cultural and historical importance. During the 1960s, France was experiencing major shifts in society, industry, and international influence. The currency of that time serves as a tangible link to that era, a piece of metal that silently carries the story of millions of everyday lives. Collectors value these coins not just for their monetary worth, but for the connection they provide to a world that has evolved so much since their minting. The 1966 20 centimes, especially when authentically worn, represents the beauty of history in motion, where art meets function and time becomes the sculptor. Key facts about this coin make it a particularly interesting collectible. Millions were minted, but over time, many were lost, melted, or simply forgotten. Surviving examples, even those in worn condition, still attract attention because of their historical charm and the nostalgic design of Marianne and the French motto. The worn version, though less valuable than a mint or uncirculated specimen, still holds collectible appeal due to its age and authenticity. Collectors often seek these coins as affordable yet meaningful additions to their French or European collections. When we talk about rarity and condition, the 1966 20 centimes coin does not qualify as extremely rare in the traditional sense, but what makes it stand out is its growing demand among new collectors. Coins in worn condition like this one can sell for a modest price, typically between $1,000 to $2,000 depending on the appearance and market interest. However, in recent years, interest in mid-century European coins has been rising, and that has led to a renewed appreciation for even well-circulated pieces. Some collectors seek specific mint years like 1966 to complete sets from the 1960s, which can slightly increase its desirability. A well-preserved but worn coin that still displays most of its design details clearly can fetch the higher end of that range. For collectors, the best tip when acquiring a 1966 20 centimes coin in worn condition is to look for coins that still retain visible legends and a reasonably clear outline of Marianne's portrait. Cleaning is generally discouraged, as it can reduce the coin's value and remove the natural patina that gives it historical authenticity. Instead, store it properly in a dry environment or a coin holder to prevent further wear and corrosion. Coins like this make perfect entry points for beginner collectors because they combine affordability with a genuine sense of history, allowing enthusiasts to experience the charm of French numismatics without breaking the bank. In conclusion, the French 20 centimes coin from 1966, even in its worn condition, remains a delightful piece of history that continues to fascinate collectors around the world. Its delicate design, cultural symbolism, and connection to a transformative period in France's story make it a timeless collectible. While its current market value may be modest in dollars, its worth in heritage and charm is immeasurable. Every worn detail carries the touch of time, a reminder that even small coins can hold grand stories. So, whether you're a passionate numismatist or just beginning your collecting journey, the 1966 French 20 centimes coin is a worthy treasure that beautifully captures the spirit of France, enduring, elegant, and forever inspiring. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay tuned to World Numismatic Finds for more rare and valuable coin discoveries from around the world.